What's up, you guys? It is your host, Mr. Mario Bassi, and I'm coming to you live from Portland, Oregon, obviously, because that's where I've been almost a year. Can you believe it's almost been a year that I decided to embark on my new life of hipster nation, if you will? How is everybody? I know it's been a minute. I'm not even going to try to come up with excuses as to why I have not been on the scene. But it feels good. It is Sunday, and I know, I'm normally on a Saturday, but I have been so crazy busy. It has been insane. So, welcome. I'm your host, Omari Abassi, and this is my show, OA Fagazine, and I have to tell you, I was so close. I almost opened my store. I almost had a space. And then it was just the lady. She was great. She was really great. There were just two things that interfered with it, so I kind of had to back out, but I was close. So I want you to understand that I am very close to opening my store. Very close. Like, it's just a matter of time. I'm looking. It is. I had found the perfect space. Literally. But I'm just all about alignment. I gotta be honest. I'm about alignment. Things have to work in alignment. Like, the moment that you start, for me, this is just purely me speaking. This is me. It's like I've learned a lesson in life that whenever you try to push too hard or try to make the pieces fit, it's not right. It's not right. So the place was perfect. The price was amazingly right. But then when I get there, she's like, oh, you're going to have to pay this, you're going to have to pay this, you're going to pay for this. And I just didn't have the cash. I didn't have it. I was thinking about how many different ways I could come up with it. And then I thought, no. You know, what I don't want to do is move into my space, completely broke. Like, there's just no way. It doesn't matter. It won't work. And it was just like, no, you know what? It's not right. When it's right, I'll know it's right, and everything will be in alignment, and it'll just be right. So I was close. So I'm closer. I'm like right there. So for those of you who don't know, like, this show is basically me just going off on whatever bits of information I have received throughout my week. I just tend to come here and talk about it. Now, all the times that I've been talking, I tried my best to stay away from politics, religion, racism, and then, you know what, that is part of my daily journey. That is it's like every day I'm stressing about something, whether it be racism, whether it's, I'm always just stressed out about it. And I don't bring it to the show. I normally just do not, because it's just, there's no purpose. This is like an escapism. Like, this show is so much about nothing that I don't want it to become this thing where I have an agenda and people, are on board and then they're not on board because they feel a way about something that I've said, which is bound to happen one way or the other. But I tend not to have these topics of conversation because of the fact that I just don't want to sway people, and I want to just move on past all the bullshit that we already have out there. Like, my show is about nothing. So most of the time, sometimes I'll get on a rant and talk about something that means a lot to me, but for the most part, I try to keep it light. Today, I can't do that because Raven-Symoné gets on my nerves. Like, she is excuse me. She's crazy. Like, she's been saying some crazy shit on The View for a while. Like, I kind of see why they picked her for that show. I really do. I'm not going to try to say, like, I don't even know why she's on the show, because the show is horrible anyway. It's had 1 million rotating guests. It's a dumb show. Like, overall, it is a dumb show. You got Whoopi Goldberg on there. Like, she's legendary, but she's still kind of a joke. Like, you can't take her seriously. She's done some great films in the past. I think she's got one of the few people that has the Emmy, the Oscar, the Tony, and whatever the other one is. and a Grammy, I think. So she has all 4. She's one of the only people, really, one of the few people who actually have all of them. So she is talented in her own right. So I'm not going to take that, but her personal opinion and stance in life has been questionable at best. You know, because I can go back to when she was dating Ted Danson and he came in blackface and she defended that. And that was just bizarre. That was a bizarre moment in time. And, you know, maybe people remember that, maybe people don't. But it was a bizarre period in her life. And, you know, she's done some stuff. And she's done some crazy stuff on The View, too. Like, there's no question. And I already know that basically she wants out of her contract, and I think it ends in December or something. So to me, it's like, I get it. I get her. She's an older woman. She's pretty much had it. Like, what else is she gonna do? Like, she's a legend at this point. So if she has her money, if she got her coins straight, she don't have to work. She can just chill, you know. She's got a daughter and a grandchild or whatever, and like she doesn't have like a husband. I don't know if she pays child support or alimony or whatever, but for the most part, I think Whoopi can really just hang out. So that being said, I get it. Like, she's on there. It's almost like when you retire and you can go work at a souvenir shop or something like that. Like, you don't really care what you do because you don't have to do it. You're just like, I want to be busy. That's why I kind of just let Whoopi do whatever she wants to do. I don't excuse her behavior, but I go, really? She's a legend. She can do whatever she wants at this point. Now, Raven-Symoné, on the other hand, yeah, she was on The Cosby Show and she did That's So Raven. And after that, her comments have just been nutty at best. Just nutty. She has just been saying, she said she was colorless. She said she didn't want to be labeled as black. She didn't want to be labeled as a lesbian. And just, it's like, girl, we live in a world of labels. Like, there's no way that we're going to escape labels. We're just not. And I mean, and I'm one of the very first one. I love labels. I love labels on clothes. I love designer labels. I love labels on food that makes me happy. I mean, I like Pillsbury versus anything else. Like, I'm not going to buy cinnamon rolls that aren't Pillsbury. I ain't going to lie. It's just not going to happen. So there's a label. You know, when it comes to shoes, I'm an Adidas freak. I love Adidas. Love them. So if I see Nike, I'm not going to buy them. I'm going to buy Adidas. Because I'm an Adidas guy. Labels. You know, in the past, when I used to date, you know, when I would go out with dudes, I would date, you know, mainly, you know, I've dated a few men of color, but I've dated mostly white. And I can't say that really without labeling what color they are. Like, I could just say, it could be generic and be like, I used to date a man. That's vague. That's too vague. It needs a label. White. Or bear or whatever. We have labels. That's, this society, this world is built on labels. Good, bad, and indifferent. That's just what they are. That's just how we're able to define who each other is. That's just how it is. I don't like all the negative labels that people of color have. They drive me nuts. But the fact is, I get it. I know who they're talking about. And it keeps it straightforward. Whether you buy into it or not. It's there. So she's been saying some crazy stuff. And like, for the most part, I've just ignored it. I just, not ignored it, but it's not been a topic of conversation to me and my friends. So I don't bring it up or anything. It doesn't really matter. But these shenanigans she's participated in the last week or so. Now, this is the one that I had to reach out to my friends, and we all had to have this conversation and agree that this is by far the worst. Like, this is bad. Like, you know, you can't, as a person of color, in spite of what color that is, You know, but we're talking of the brown color now, you know. It doesn't matter that she's mixed. We're all mixed. A lot of us are mixed. And so for her to say that she wouldn't hire somebody with that name or with a ghetto name, it's like, we get it. Like, I don't think, and I know people discriminate against names. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. I mean, people discriminate against all kinds of names. Jewish names, Asian names, Arabic names. I have an Arabic name. And forever. I mean, my entire last name is Abdul Abbasi. However, when 9/11 happened, I had to shorten it in order to work. I had to change it to just Abbasi so that people weren't freaked out. People had lost their minds. I was getting stopped in airports all the time, and I still do to a degree, you know, being checked because I have an Arabic name or whatever. And it just, people will put labels and people discriminate. So I think when people of color do it to one another, it's repulsive. Because it's hard enough. It's hard enough just to exist, especially in America. It is so hard to just exist, being who you are, with the face that you have. And then to see that other people from the same bloodline, same color pattern, or whatever, start saying the same things that other people say about us, it's repulsive. It's just like, okay, wait. So then you mean to tell me that this is how you feel? So we really have no, we have nothing coming to us. Like, we really can't escape it, and we will never find equality, because even our own people are discriminating against us because of names. Names are something we had absolutely nothing to do with whatsoever. When we were brought into this world, we're never asked what name we would like to be. You know, they could be changed. You could change your name in later years, obviously. Lots of people do that. But when you're born and you just live in life, you don't get a choice. You don't get a chance to be like, oh yeah, I think I'd rather my name to be Richard Smallwood or whatever. You get the name that your parents, whether they were drugged out or hippies or hood rats, that's just the name that they give you. And that's just what you have to deal with until you get to an age, 18, 19, and you decide, I don't want to be this person anymore. It's hindering my career. It's hindering my job opportunities. So therefore, I'm going to change it. And bravo. Like, if you come to that conclusion later in life, then I say all for it. Like, great, good for you. Good for you. You know, if that's how you feel, if you feel that your name is not conducive to you getting to where you want to be in your life, and it is a hindrance, then change it. I personally think that it will only change a bit of it, because if the person who is reading your resume, let's just say, is discriminatory against the name, they're probably discriminatory against the face. So even if your name is Jennifer Whitlet and